Good morning. How you guys doing out there? So you probably have seen some of my posts lately when it comes to looking for just some help, and that's kind of what this is. What this video is about a little bit, um, not completely, just kind of a little mention of it in the beginning here. But yeah, Brandon and I are kind of having some hard times here, and I mean we're all having a hard time, and let's face it. I mean things are really crazy nowadays, but unfortunately because of my MS it really kind of put us in a bind, starting about, well, since like about October of last year. And it just kind of got progressively worse as the months went on. Going to the hospital a couple different times with surprise, not really surprise bills, but being as high as they were, even with insurance, not being like in between it, just crazy. So yeah, we are looking for some help. So if you guys can, go to our GoFundMe page, which I think is right below this video, and please give whatever you can. What we just, yeah, we're just really trying to dig our way out of this. The banking situation that we had, actually have, still kind of fighting it a little bit. It's kind of done at this point. We're just kind of stuck paying the bill. Um, yeah, it's kind of it's a mess. It really is a mess right now. So if you're on my regular page, my personal page, Jeff Balke, go right, I think right below this video, and you'll see my GoFundMe page, and you'll definitely see um, everything kind of there. I kind of laid it out a little bit. So anything you guys can do, you give would be awesome. But that kind of goes back to this whole entire video. The reason I'm doing this is because, well, for a long time, the number one thing that I have always, since social media came around, that I've always done is I've always looked at, influences. I think we all do. It's just something, it just happens. We'll be on our phones, on the computer, tablet, life as you're walking around. There's always going to be some kind of influence. But I think what we all kind of attach to the most are the bad ones. And it's just kind of human instinct, like animal instinct, just you just kind of grab on, just kind of attach onto it. And mine per se, I can't speak for everybody, but mine, literally is going on Facebook or listening to people at conventions and saying, well, Jeff, you should do this. Jeff, you should do that. Well, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? And you know what? That might work in the moment. I'm not doing anything. My studio is not just for the moment. My studio, I want to be around for a very, very long time, even after I'm gone. And I've had a lot of influences around me that just a lot of people just kind of telling me, well, Jeff, do this, bring back the superheroes, bring back, put your characters in superhero costumes. And, it's not bad advice, but that's not necessarily what I want to do. Again, that is for now. Now, some of you may have already seen, if you've seen me around this year, you've seen that I've brought back some of the superhero prints, not 11 by 17, but 5 by 7, and I have them matted up. So I've got them a lot smaller. And you know what? People are loving them because it's like a perfect size you can kind of put in that little corner, and that's great. But then I think a lot of people kind of miss that I have my own studio art tunes. I call them. They're prints, but I call them art tunes. I've got them matted up, and I got the original hand colorings, what used to be called sketch coloring. So I have all of my own stuff. And I think a lot of people, even after this time, have kind of forgot that I've got my own. So when I go on Facebook, I'm mainly on Facebook. I don't have Twitter anymore. Instagram, I'm hardly ever on. I don't have a TikTok. I have an account, I just don't have it. It's just hard to just kind of be on all these different social medias because that's not what I do. I'm trying to start something else. You got to do the behind the scenes stuff in order to do, to put stuff on social media. Uh, so I just lost my train of thought. Darn it. I hate when that happens. That's why going live sometimes stinks because you kind of forget what you were saying. But it was a good point. But anyway, influences. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. But I go on social media, I go on Facebook, and that's what I was talking about. I go on Facebook, and I see all these people, like they're selling left and right. It's like, how are you doing that? I don't understand. How do you get it? Like, how do you do that? I look at their sites, I look at their pages, I look at their websites and everywhere, and I'm like, why can't I do that? And then I kind of take my stuff and I kind of adjust it a little bit, kind of pivot somewhat, and go kind of to what they're doing, because it seems to be very successful, not just with that one person, but multiple people. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, they have all fan art. I have my own characters. It's a whole different ball game. It really is. And that's when I kind of came to the conclusion, over the last few shows. That's when I really kind of came to the conclusion that I really need to focus on what I need to do. Yes, I'm doing this for people, but I'm also not going to just make a print because it's popular on Disney Plus or it's popular on TV or wherever. I'm not going to do that. I'm very, very, very proud of all, you can't see them, I'm looking around, but of all the characters that I have created, all the different prints that I've created, the comics that we have created so far. I put an awesome team together for the first 2 issues of Stanley and Friends. This 3rd issue, I'm even more excited about. I just got goosebumps because I wrote it. It is my first thing that I have ever written. Yes, I've written some comic strips and whatnot, but this is much bigger. This was 36 pages, a full-length comic book. And I have a different team. And I put them together, and the pages and the cover, oh my gosh, they are coming out beautifully. And when I see that, I kind of get a little teary-eyed. Not just because, I'm looking at a computer screen like up close like that, but because I'm looking at something that was in my head that is coming to life, kind of. And it just looks amazing. And the first time that I saw Stanley and Friends, Stanley's Ghost, which was our first comic book, which also, I know I say it a lot, but it was also Eisner nominated. I'm like, that says something. I'm very proud. And I'm getting more and more and more proud of my characters and my studio. Yes, okay, we don't have animation yet. Animation is extremely expensive. It's really hard to find people, only because of where I'm at. Unfortunately, and everything has to be virtual, because here in the Midwest or here in Wisconsin, this is not the mecca of animators. Now, I found animators, absolutely, but unfortunately, I can't get them all in one area, and I need the studio space. That's something else I'm going to be working on coming up in the near probably year or two, is getting that space. But going back to my characters, I'm doing a lot of stuff with these little guys. I've even now updated the Artoons to now where I'm creating backgrounds for the characters. Maybe you've seen them at the shows, or maybe you've gone on my website or in my store and you've seen them. But I am super proud. I am more proud of doing this, what I'm doing right now, than when I was doing fan art. Yes, granted, I was making some money. I'm not going to lie. I was making some money. But I am more proud of doing my stuff versus fan art. And then I start realizing, Jeff, just get rid of the bad influences. Just get rid of them. Just stop looking at them, or just, close them off or hide them or whatever. Just get rid of that stuff. Don't do that anymore. Because unfortunately, it's bringing me down. It's making me feel extremely negative. And I've noticed that that's what a lot of people feel that way. There's a couple of people that I've worked with recently, that same kind of thing happened. They just shut down altogether and they just stopped art. Well, that's not the way to go. Don't get so frustrated because somebody else might be doing a little better and you don't think that you're good enough, and then you just stop. Don't do that. See, and that's where I will never, I'm going to say probably, I will never stop what I'm doing because I think someone else is doing better. No. Being around that person who is successful, that's the kind of influence that you want. What are they doing? How are they doing it? You want to be around successful people. And again, that is something that I've kind of, and you know what? It sounds very junior high-ish. It really does. But as you grow up and you get older, you kind of think like, well, I'm going to do this all by myself and that's it. No, oh, I'm done. You forget about when you were younger and all the things that you have learned, like not going through bad influences, keep on pushing, surround yourself with positive people and positive things are going to happen. You know what? That does sound very kind of like kiddish, childish, if you will, but it is so real. And that's what I'm starting to do. And also, for the longest time, I've been kind of pushed to the back of the line. And no more. No more. I am pushing myself to the front of the line. I don't like cutting in front of people, but I also don't like being pushed. Going, oh, Jeff, oh, okay, whatever. We'll put him over there. We'll put him over there. I'm like, yeah, he's a good guy. He'll always be here. No. Yeah, I may always be there, but at the same time, I'm trying to produce something. I'm trying to do something, and I want people to pay attention. I want people to actually enjoy what I do. And you know what? A lot of people, when they stop at the booths, or they even here on Facebook or even on YouTube or wherever, people ask me questions. And you know how good that feels? That feels so good. It's like they're genuinely interested in the characters, the stories, and what I'm trying to do with my studio. So it feels great. And that's where moving forward comes into play, because I'm not going to be dealing with any more negativity. I'm not. Do I still have it? Oh, of course. Does sometimes the negativity and the stress of life, come into play? Absolutely. We're going through some really tough times right now. And I mean, really tough to the point where we can barely even almost afford food, but we're doing what we can. We're trying everything that we can to just keep going and keep moving forward. Now, I can quit the studio. Brandon and I have multiple conversations about this, and he gets mad at me when I say this. I said, you know what? Just to kind of get some of this stuff paid off and get caught up, I can quit the studio for a little bit and go get a job. And he yells at me, and he says, "Don't." This is also another reason why I love this man. He really is my angel. When he tells me every time that I say that, he says, Jeff, don't you dare. You're going to stick to what you're doing and you're not going to get a full-time job. We're not that bad off yet. And I'm like, well, but what? He says, no, there's no but. You're going to continue with what you're doing. You're going to do what you're doing. And I'll get 2 full-time jobs if I have to. He won't, because there's just not enough hours in a day. But it's the point of him saying that and believing in me and in believing the studio so much that keeps me going, So it's stuff like that, people like that, those people who I need to be around a lot more. And unfortunately, over the last few years, I have surrounded myself, not with all, but with a lot of people who just don't feel or don't see what I'm trying to do, and it hurts. And unfortunately, because of a lot of, excuse me, because of a lot of personal issues and things that we've had going on, I've kind of went downhill. Things have really gone south. But over the last year, slowly we're climbing out of this black hole. The light is up there. We can see the little pinpoint light. We can see it. It's coming. We're climbing out of it. It might take a little bit, but you know what? We're not dead yet. We're still young. We can still do it. I'm also not doing this to make, buku bucks. No, I'm not doing that. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry, guys. I have some comments here, so let me just read these. Oh, thank you, Kayla. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Kayla. I was just reading someone, my friend Kayla just was commenting, so I was reading the comments. So I forgot to put the comment section up here. But yeah, it is very important, and not just for me, but for everybody. We live in some pretty difficult times. Money's tight everywhere. Things are going up left and right. The housing market is just all over the place, going up and up. Rents are skyrocketing, way out of control. The apartments aren't even worth the rent prices. But you know what? We all have to just keep going. We have to. And I keep telling, now see, I say stuff like that, and sometimes I just ignore myself, and I can't. I have to listen to myself sometimes. And we're just going to keep pushing forward. That's all we can do. I refuse, I refuse as a human being and as a bulky to ever give up on anything, especially my dream. Now, my dream might kind of pivot slightly. It'll happen. It already has a couple times. It might pivot, but I'm still on the same path. And I'm going to keep doing that until whenever. The day I die, the day the world blows up, whatever comes first. I'm going to keep fighting for what I believe in. I'm going to keep fighting for my studio and for my characters, getting rid of all the negativity in my life. It's going to be a process, but getting rid of all that stuff. I've already gotten rid of a couple of social media outlets just because they were so full of negativity. And I just don't want that stuff anymore. And to post anything new or happy or fun that you're doing with all that negativity that's up there, you just get lost, or people just look right over you, go, oh, okay, and just look by. That's that's not working for me. It's just not. And also for the longest time too, it's something else that I kind of thought about, which kind of frustrates me because I almost think this is kind of true. You can kind of see even in the video that, yes, I'm a bigger guy. And I've only had a couple of people kind of say something to me about my weight and whatnot. And I get it. I got to lose weight. Okay, that's fair. But it's how it was brought up to me, basically saying if I look, I'm going to paraphrase, I'm not saying exactly what they said, but it was two different people, two different times. If you lost weight, you'd have people flocking to you. I kid you not. I've had a couple people tell me that, and that frustrated me. No, pissed me off enough to where it ruined my entire weekend. 2 different weekends. And it wasn't recent. Well, within the last like 3 years, yes, but not like this year or anything. But that really took a turn in my mind. I'm just like, and of course, it just made me go south even more. It just brought me down. You know what? I'm going to say what I've been telling everybody. It's like, I am who I am. This is me. I can change it. And yes, now that it's warmer, I can. People don't know my health issues. But now that it's warmer, yes, I am planning on going walking more. Yes, I am planning on going on the paths more. It's beautiful today, like 74 today. Yeah, I've already gone for a little bit of a walk. And guess what? I'm probably going to do another one. So when now I'm just getting frustrated because what those people said. But I remember one of them because it was someone who I thought was kind of a real fan, and they just kind of threw me for a loop, but yeah. So again, I'm just getting rid of all the bad influences. I'm getting rid of all the negativity. You can't get rid of all of it. You just can't, but you don't have to pay attention to it. You don't have to follow it. And that's what I think a lot of what I've been doing lately is exactly what I've been doing is I've been following the negativity. And I can't do that, because that's just, again, like animal instinct, human instinct. We kind of follow that kind of stuff because it's like, it's like in a story. It's like, it's what draws you, just kind of makes you go. But that's not what I want to do anymore. I just don't want to do that. So I'm going to be, from now on, behind the scenes here anyway, I'm going to be doing a hell of a lot less of Facebook. I'm still going to be posting. I'm going to be doing the Coloring with Jeffs are still coming back. I have some commissions that I have to finish up and whatnot. Those are definitely big time things I have to do. But the Coloring with Jeff is going to come back. I just have to kind of wait maybe until next month when there's not as much going on. This month was pretty heavy with conventions and appearances. I'm still going. We'll show this weekend, and I have something I think on the 29th. I think the date is, but lots of stuff coming over the summer, which I'm really going to try to change. And hopefully within the next couple of weeks, we're going to be out of this messy financial situation that we're in. So again, one more time with the GoFundMe, if you guys have seen it, if you're on my Facebook page, go just go one list below this or one post below this, and I think that's where it's at. It's our GoFundMe. We're just in a really tight spot, and we can really use some kind of help if you can. Even if you can help share it, that would be a huge help as well, to kind of help us get the word out a little bit. So guys, anyway, thank you so much. I just wanted to kind of say this stuff. It was just kind of weighing on my mind, and sometimes when you talk, you hear yourself, but it's like you're talking to friends, you guys. So it's very therapeutic to kind of just talk about it. Don't keep it bottled in, and yeah, that's not good. I did that for years, and I can't anymore. I can't. But anyway, please go and check out the GoFundMe page. That would be really appreciated if you can at least share it. And then also this weekend, I'll be at the DuPage. I'm sorry, not DuPage. Quad Cities Comic-Con with MightyCon. So that's going to be in Davenport. So I'm looking forward to being there. I haven't been there in a few years, 5+ years actually. So it'll be kind of nice to get back there. And then on the 29th, I'm a guest speaker at a library here in Wisconsin, which I'm very excited about. We've been planning this for a few months already, so the time has come. So I'm very excited. And I'll be doing a live coloring session also at the library too. I can't remember where it's at, but I'm going to have all that information actually on my Jeff Balke Studios Facebook page. So guys, thank you again very much for listening. And Kayla, thank you for your comments. I really do appreciate that. Thank you guys very much for just paying attention and listening, and all the sharing, caring, and support you guys have given me over the years and continue to give me even now. So thanks, guys. Take care. Talk to you soon.